A very good morning, children. Welcome back once again to our social studies class. Today we are going to begin a new chapter, and the name of the chapter is Our Environment. In this chapter, we are going to learn what we mean by the term environment, and we are going to learn about some related topics. So, let us begin the lesson now. Begin with the very basic question, that is, what is environment? Environment means surroundings or conditions in which a person or a thing exists, that is, lives and develops his or its characteristics. Now, to understand this, let us take an example. The environment of a plant refers to all those conditions which help the growth of that particular plant. It can be the soil, it can be the climate condition, it can be the quantity of water present in the soil. So, these things they keep changing. The environment is not the same everywhere, it changes from place to place. An environment required for the growth of rice is different from that required for the growth of wheat. It has been seen that the conditions that are found in Punjab are suitable for the growth of wheat, but they are not suitable for the growth of wheat in Tamil Nadu. Similarly, at certain places, environmental conditions are very favorable for the growth of humans, like in the monsoon regions, Mediterranean regions, but they are not at all favorable in the desert region or in the cold polar region or the tundra regions. So, for both animals as well as plants, we have different kinds of environment. Some may be favorable, some may be very suitable, while others may not be very favorable or suitable for their growth. Environment is sometimes divided into two major kinds, that is, natural environment and human environment. Natural environment. Some gifts of nature, such as land, water, air, plants, and animals, form a part of the natural environment. They include both the biotic and the abiotic resources. Now, you must be wondering what we mean by these two terms, biotic and abiotic. Just remember, biotic means related to life, while abiotic means non living, that is, things that do not have life. So, abiotic resources are composed of the non living things, all the non living things like land, water, air, rocks, metals, etc. While the biotic resources are composed of plants and animals which have life in them. Both types of these natural resources are very necessary for the existence and development of human beings. So, let us once again recall and try to understand what we mean by biotic and abiotic. Biotic includes all the living things. It can be plants, animals, bacteria, fungus, or the other microorganisms. They can be as small as bacteria or microorganisms, viruses, and they can be as big as elephant and giraffe. So all these living things they make our biotic components, while all the non living things, that is water, soil, air, minerals, light, rock, sand, or whatever you can think of, all those things which do not have life, they form the abiotic component. So altogether, these two, the biotic and the abiotic components, they form the natural environment. This is a picture of a natural environment. Everything is related to nature. It can be water, it can be trees, it can be rocks. So it is a combination of both living and non living things. That is biotic and abiotic resources. Next, we move to human environment. As the word suggests, human means man. Anything related to man, that is, their social, religious, economic, and cultural activities, form a part of the human environment. Man's family, his community, religious activities, educational endeavors, factories, villages, towns, cities, buildings, and roads, etc., and also his political activities form an important part of human environment. Uh, Again, let us take an example. Suppose we are talking about you. Okay, so you consider yourself as an example. Now, everything that surrounds you, your parents, your teachers, your brothers, sisters, grandparents, your school, your activities that are carried out in school, your learning part, your curricular activities, extracurricular activities, the festivals you celebrate, the games you play, all these things, they form a part of your human environment. When you step out of your house, the factories, villages, buildings, roads, buses, trains, all these things again form an important part of your human environment. So I hope all of you must have understood. So let us have a quick recall. I'll just say very quickly what we have learned till now. Till now we have learned what do we mean by environment. So everything that surrounds, all the conditions or our surroundings, they form our environment. It can be our natural environment or it can be a human environment. And again, we also learned that the natural environment is made up of both biotic and abiotic resources. So, till now, we have learned about our natural environment and our human environment. And this picture depicts our human environment. Everything present there, the human beings, the people present there, and the activities which are taking place, the things that are present, all these things all together they constitute our human environment. Now, it is a fact that both these natural and human environment components of the environment, they interact with each other and they produce certain changes which create favorable conditions for man to live on this earth. So let us read this once again. Both these natural and human components of environment interact with each other, thereby producing certain changes which create favorable conditions for man to live on this earth. But these components of environment are not static, they are not fixed, they are subject to different processes of changes which are sometimes slow and sometimes very sudden. So it is very important that we have a proper balance or interaction between both our natural environment and our human environment. And this brings us to another very important term, and that term is ecological balance. Ecological balance means a proper interaction or balance between the natural environment and the human environment, and this is very necessary for the formation of favorable or suitable conditions for the survival of man. If there is any imbalance between these two, it will be very difficult for man to survive on this earth. So this balance is termed as the ecological balance. So with this we come to the end of today's video tutorial. Here is a beautiful picture depicting our natural environment. Here you can see both biotic and abiotic resources or components are present in such harmony. They complement each other. They are supporting each other. They are making or maintaining a perfect balance among each other. So you can see this picture and try to understand what we have learned till now. So we'll continue the rest of this lesson in the following videos. So please read the lesson well, and I am sure you will be able to understand whatever we have done. So till we meet again, keep taking good care of your health, keep following all the safety precautions that we are supposed to follow. And what are those? Number one, we should always wear mask if we step out of our house. We should always maintain safe distance, and we should keep washing our hands again and again, or we should use sanitizer whenever we step out, when soap and water is not easily available. And the best way to keep safe is to keep indoors, not to move out, because you all need not uh, move out. You can manage very well sitting at home, because your parents are there to take care of you, isn't it? So please be safe, keep smiling, and keep learning.